In this video, I'm going to demonstrate you my major project, which is about a payment system application, and we call it micropayment systems, in which you can come and do transactions like a small transactions in Indian currency, consider it a 50 paise transactions, which we cannot normally do. So everything I can explain you about the functionalities, the technology stack, and how site is functioning, and coming to the ideas and how the that system design of that entire system or my project. If you want to know about that, then you can check it on my blog or on my website. I'm going to give you a link. So now I'm going to explain you the functionality which I implemented on the website. Okay, so let's get started. And when I think I need to explain, then I'm going to explain you. Otherwise, just have a look. Okay, so our virtual environment is activated. The reason I activated the virtual environment is because the site is running on Django framework, right? So let's run the server now. Now I have to pick up manage.py. Okay, so site is running, and the address on which the site is running is obviously on localhost on the port this. Okay, so this is all. Let me open a fresh window. Okay, so this is our address, and this is the way our site looks. Okay, these are like little sections, and if you click, then you, for information like all other sites, we also have that. So coming to blog, I'm going to explain it in a short while. And coming to this, why Vikas is here. Okay, so the reason it is showing Vikas is because the user which is logged in the server, or do I say on this computer, is Vikas. Okay, if I go to this section and log out and come back to again on that section, then we see the anonymous user, means currently no one is logged in, right? So okay, so let me log in with some other person, for example Batman. Okay, so Batman, this is the profile section of a user, right? So, or you can call it a dashboard. Okay, so this is the name of user Batman, obviously, and on by clicking this button you can start a transaction. This is the way you request a coin, right? Okay, so this section is not implemented, because if I want to implement it, then I have to buy a banking gateway, and that is kind of not free, so I didn't implement that. So coming to tools, we have tools like write blog, return home, my QR code, right? So return home is going to return you on this like address, and you can write blog. Okay, so writing blog, we have three fields. So the first field is title, so we are going to say title, for example, and then it is going to say tag, and this is going to say post value. Okay, sorry, post value. Okay, so okay, and in last you can see okay, the post number is 19 and the writer, which is Batman, so we can take this name from our current user which is logged in, and this is the timestamp which is showing the today's date, and this is title, post, and tag. Okay, so The reason I implement a blog in a payment site is actually I want to implement a community section, right, where a person come and write things about it. But okay, so the main inspiration behind implementing a blog or a community is from Stack Overflow. Okay, so whenever I just uh, you know got stuck or something else, I just go to Google and write my query or the error. Then every time I go to Stack Overflow, so I just want to give a tribute or something, or I just want to know how we can implement a blog. That's why I just implemented that thing. So in order to go to that section, okay, again we are going to profile section, and in order to see tools, so we have QR section. Okay, so if you can open it, then we are going to say a QR section, right? So the reason I'm going to I implemented that QR section is from these modern um, uh, transaction applications like phone pay and Tej, and these all stuff have their QR code, and by just scanning the QR code you are going to on other person's transaction link. So exactly, I just implemented that. The motivation comes from that portion. Okay, so if you scan this, I tested it from Google Lens and obviously MIUI inbuilt scanner, then it is working perfectly. Okay, and coming to tools, these are like 3 tools I implemented, and this is the redeem coins. Okay, so if you are a kind of a person who receives coins, you are a shopkeeper or someone is sending you coins and you are like selling something, then after some time you can redeem coins again. This in order to implement that thing, we have to buy a gateway or something, so that is not free, so I didn't implement that. But it is very easy because I did implement everything other than that. Okay, so for example, Batman already have 5 coins, so just we don't do that. Don't send more coins from Batman's wallet. So let us make a new user instead. Okay, so what is the name of new user? Okay, consider Iron Man. Okay, so okay, Iron Man, and email is going to iron@man, and password is this, the cheapest or simplest password. I'm sorry, let me copy even the password also and just sign in. Okay, and now we can log in with that credentials which we created, Iron Man, and password is, okay, let me paste it, and now you can see we are currently logged in as Iron Man. Okay, and now, okay, why this Iron Man is 100 coins? So whenever a new user comes to our site, we are going to give him 100 coins or complimentary, or even do I say, in order to give a presentation or whatever of my site, because I don't have a that banking gateway, so I'm giving a demo coins or whatever you can say it. Okay, so this is a section on which transaction happen. Okay, so if you are going to send someone money, then that is going to reflect on this side, and if someone is going to send you money, then that transaction is going to reflect on this side. Okay, so for example, let us send some money to someone. Okay, so for example, let us send money to Pogba, for example. Okay, James Bond. Okay, Clark, Test One, Pay Two, Aam Aadmi, Barca. Okay, let's send some coin. Okay, Batman don't have coin, so let's send some coin to Batman. Okay, so Batman currently have 5 coins, so just copy this and paste the username here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so for example, if I select a wrong username, for example Batman12, then it is going to show us a error. Okay, this is also a cross-checking thing I implemented. So request coins, so it is showing showing us a Iron Man, hello, you have 100 coins and your IP address is this and your sender's name is this and receiver name and timestamp. Okay, so these are the attributes which I'm going to use in blockchain. Okay, so in order to do secure transactions. Okay, so coming to this section, we have to again put Batman because of some security reasons, or okay, so whatever you can think, I just put it here because for example, if someone send in some money to in haste, so just you have to cross check itself. For example, if I again here send Batman and like 12 coin, and Batman one doesn't exist, so this is showing Batman username doesn't exist. Okay, so okay, and what if I send some more coins, more than the coins you have in your wallet, then it is going to show you an error again. Okay, so it is showing that you don't have coins. Okay, so let me send 50 coins to Batman because Batman is only 5 coins, or 40 coins, 45 coins. Okay, 50, whatever. Okay, random number, not that. Okay, let me send 72 coins. Okay, so if we start transaction, then it is showing dear Iron Man, we have your transaction, and this is a transaction ID. Okay, transaction ID is a random number. It is just a random number. Okay, which I'm going to use in also in blockchain. It is these are like attributes of blockchain, and if we click this button, so be attentive because this button is showing to pour, it is going to pour the transaction in the blockchain. Okay, and you can see the current transaction, the number on which our block is in the blockchain is 338. Okay, so for example, do more transaction. Now we can cross check. So we send 72 coins. Okay, this is in this section, you can also cross check it. 72 coins, and now we have 28 coins remaining. And now in order to check how many coins do Batman have, so you can see it's 77 because Batman earlier have 5 coins and 72 coin is sent by what is name, Iron Man. Okay, and for example, if I just log in from Batman account. Okay, so Batman account, for example, it is showing error. No, so Batman is having 77 coins, and in the credited section you can see Iron Man to Batman is 72 coins, and this is the transaction happen here, right? So Batman and Iron Man have same password. That's insane. Okay, so for example, let me do one more demo. For example, okay, so Aam Aadmi have the most coins because of some reasons, or do I say I'm just kidding? So Aam Aadmi have the highest coins. Okay, so let me send some coins to someone. Okay, so for example, I want to send some coins to, okay, so Pogba or Batman. Okay, again Batman. Okay, not Batman, Ramos. Okay, so I'm going to send some coins to Ramos. Okay, it's Ramos. Okay, I know, Ramos. Okay, and now I want to send Ramos 1000 coin, for example, or 10,000 coin. That's huge. Okay, so this is showing us dear Aam Aadmi, that is a username. Okay, we have your transaction. Okay, and if we pour that in chain, then we can say this is 339. Okay, and I'm also going to show you the entire blockchain in 1 minute. Okay, so this is all the way site works. Okay, I just told you everything, and like, let me log out, and we have to go to Vic. Okay, one to admin. Okay, so this is the admin part. So in order to log in it, we have to log in with the super user account. No Aam Aadmi account is going to used here, right? In order to log in, you need the super user account. Okay, so in this account you can see the database. Actually it is the entire database you can access by this account. Okay, so I also made a custom account for in order to have a look on transaction or what is going on the site, or do I say in order to do a surveillance thing, I just implemented something. So this is what we call Vic panel. Okay, so you have to go to Vic panel. So this is showing the total 15,729 coins are transacted, means these many coins are transacted from one person to another person or whatever. And in last you can see Aam Aadmi is sent some coins to Ramos, and that is the transaction ID. You can cross check it. And Iron Man to Batman, and that was a coin, that 72 coin. And for example, if I send some coin to, like, in order to log in, let me back because I'm already logged in as Vikas, as a super user, and I have 130 coins. And currently how many coins are transacted? Okay, 29, and I have to send, for example, 11 coins to someone, any random person. Okay, so let me send someone Neymar 11 coins. Doesn't make sense, but let me send. Okay, so 11 coins, and now transaction happened. So it's 340, earlier it was 339, I guess, right? Or you can see, okay, it's not increased because I didn't refresh, so it's 40 now. Okay, so you know how it is working overall things. And now you can see the user list, right? So user list is something which is, you can see the entire users in one go here. And like we have 18 users, you can count them. And for example, if we uh, add a new user, okay, let me add a new user, sign up a new user. So okay, Batman, Batmobile, Wonder Woman, for example, and Wonder @woman, and password is again that cheap password. And let me copy it also. And if we sign it, what was the username? I forget. Wonder Woman. Okay, okay, it is showing. It is not the password. Okay, so this is okay. As you can see, 100 coins in the 100 coins you can see. And now in admin you can see it's 19, and you can count it, it's 19. Okay, coming to the blocks, this thing is showing us 341 blocks, but we know earlier we have 340 there, right? So why this thing is showing one extra block? Because I intentionally added one extra block in our blockchain, right, in order to do transactions, right? Okay, so when I was like, if you know Python, so let me show you the code instead of talking, right? Okay, meanwhile let me tell you. So I just start the blockchain, and in order to, mostly we start blockchain as an empty chain, right? And what if I start a blockchain with empty chain, but I have to, uh, save it somewhere. So I just make a random block and then append every block after that. So that's why the that this is showing the value in database, and that when we did the transaction, that was the real time value. Okay, so in order to see the entire blockchain, you can see this is the length is 341, and this format is actually the JSON format. It is showing the result in JSON format. And the most important thing is each blockchain is valid till now, so we can say yes, it is valid. Okay, so it is showing you the valid. And last thing I want to show you, as the blockchain is a decentralized distributed system or whatever it is, so let me show you something which is okay. So why it is showing this thing and like Wonder Woman Wonder Woman, because of some testing purpose, you know I I return some values during data migrations, right? So for example, there is also I have dedicated something called testing. If I put test here, we can see everything what's going on, like which was the last person who did transaction, or this was like something else, or I don't know, I don't remember. Or this was like previous hash, and this like how many blocks, and this is the knowns, or do I say the proof of work? Okay, let me show you the code instead. Close. Okay, so this is my project, and these all are like apps. And if we go to the app of blockchain and in views, okay, so in views we can write the code, or do I say logic. Okay, so if you go to views, you can see uh, in the create block, I'm it is a class of blockchain, and I'm already taking the data as a transaction data blockchain database, and like, and this is blockchain database and like chain bar. And because of that, if you see, it is blockchain database.nins. I'm sending already values to create block. And because of this is happening because I already put a block which is a demo block. Okay, let me show you a demo block, that demo block also. So I'm registered. If I go to blockchain, I have to log in with this thing, and which was a, okay, show all. This is the demo block. Okay, and this is the total. And if you want to see all the blocks, what I actually store in all the blocks, then for example 341, then first thing is index, timestamp, and nonce, which is very important, previous hash, right? These are all this stuff. And in here you can also see vikas, and in transaction we can also take a copy and store there, right? So I actually forget something. So I didn't show you some codes, right? For example, coming to blockchain, this is a proof of work, right? So this is how a blockchain is tough to crack or tough to break, right? Why the why the hackers or attackers are unable to break the blockchain? First, the first rule is the 51% rule. So that is a very complex something, or avalanche effect, or there are a lot of effects. But let me tell you something. So this is something a miner do, right? So there are a lot of cryptocurrencies out there in the world, but in order to do simplified job, I'm going to do this. For example, in a hash operation, I'm checking the, the first four zeros, the first four characters as zeros, or the first four digits as zeros. Okay, so if I increase these zeros, then my blockchain, or do I say the amount of time is going to be very increased as I am going to increase these zeros, because in that order, in because of that, if you see the code, the miner has to do a lot of work. He has to take the previous nonce, or do I say the proof of work, and compute. Okay, so why I'm using this function? You can use any function you want, any mathematical function, or uh, do I say the most complex function you can so think, or read. But I am using that because I came up with that idea. And the most important thing is, you have to check, is the blockchain is valid or not. In order to see that, you have to call this function, and this function is called by uh, you know getchain. Okay, so getchain, I don't remember, let me remind. If I go to URL, okay, so I have to call it from my panel. Okay, so I can call it from my panel. Okay, so getchain is going to show you all the chain, and is valid is going to show you, or do it is going to tell you that is chain is valid or not. If chain is valid, then it is showing it is going to show the response message, all good, blockchain is valid. Or it is going to, I'm sorry, it is going to show that we have a problem, or blockchain is not valid. Okay, so this is what in testing data values comes. Okay, so this is the code. The first thing is, if you want to look at the code, then this code is already on my GitHub account. So if you want to know, then okay, let me show you. Okay, you can go to my website directly. Okay, I'm connected to internet. Talk too big. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so you can go to my projects in my site. Okay, so you can find the code here. Okay, and these are the technology stack, and this is all about the things, or whatever you want to know. And if you want to know something more, then call me. You already have my number if you are my friend. And yeah, so you can just download it from my GitHub account. Okay, horrible photo. Okay, so these are like the same thing. You can download from it the code here and have a review. And if you find out any vulnerability or a bug or something, then please do tell me. I'm going to appreciate it. And thank you very much. And if you want to know more, then just call me. Thank you.